If you do want to join my league, the code will be in the description. If you don't know how, comment below and I will help you. The link to the Fantasy Premier League is also in the description. Hey guys, it's Melvin70 and today I'm bringing you a little bit of a different video. I'm going to be bringing you my Fantasy Premier League. Now basically, if you don't know what this is, basically there's a site and yeah, you predict the players you think are going to do the best. Now you do get a budget, it's 100 million and each player is assigned a value. For instance, I've got some of the goalkeepers here. Manone is valued at 4.5 million and then you've got other keepers like Cech and Courtois who are valued at 6, and then you've got other players like strikers, like I think Rooney's 10.5 million, you've got Toure at 11 million. Basically the better the player the more value, and you've got to get 15 players in there with 100 million budget, and there's prizes. You can join leagues made by other YouTubers. I know some YouTubers such as Matt HD have them and he tweets out the code on Twitter, stuff like that. I think I've joined his league. But anyway, let's just get straight into this. So you can already see the names that I've already picked, so sorry about that, but I'm going to go in depth with each one. I'm also going to predict the BPL basically 1st to the 20th. I'll have a video tomorrow ordering them in the order I think, so whoever's going to win, who I think is going to get relegated, get Champions League, Europa, etc., finish mid-table, and yeah, we'll compare that at the end of this season and see how wrong I was or see how right I was. But anyway, let's get straight into this. So number 1, by the way, you can only pick 3 players per team, a maximum of 3. So say if you support Chelsea or whatever, you could only pick 3 Chelsea players. Even if you support Chelsea, you could only pick 3 West Ham players or Liverpool players or Man U players, whatever. You get a maximum of 3 per team, regardless of how much they cost. So yeah, first player is going to be Courtois. I think he's going to excel. He's obviously going to be Chelsea's first team goalkeeper. Even though Cech has done absolutely outstandingly, you can't pass up on young talent like Courtois. He will, in my opinion, become the best goalkeeper in the world, alongside De Gea. I probably would have said, and ter Stegen, even though he's injured currently. But yeah, I think he's going to be fantastic, and goalkeepers are cheap anyway, so you can basically get whoever the hell you want in there. Now, you've got to pick a sub-goalkeeper as well, and I'm going to pick Pantilimon. The reason being is because I think he's going to do very, very well for Sunderland. He's a very tall keeper, and obviously at City he was never given his chance, but when he wasn't too bad. I mean, he didn't shine or anything, but at a lower league club like Sunderland, obviously Sunderland are a lower league compared to Manchester City, and yeah, I think he will excel there, so that's why I've got him there. Obviously these are my opinions, you could call me a fucking idiot, whatever, but just don't put it in the comments. What's the point? If you've got a different opinion, link me yours, link me a Gaizo or a print screen or whatever of your squad, or just write it down if you want. The next player is going to be Ryan Bertrand. Now, this player I think is going to be fantastic and he's going to really do well. Obviously, he is a right back or a left back, I'm not entirely sure. I know he's a full back, but yeah, he's young, he's got potential, and I think he's going to do very, very well. That's why I've got him there. Another player that QPR have just bought, well, obviously they haven't bought Bertrand, but yeah, another player that I've got there that QPR have just bought is Corker. Now this guy is a gem, 5 million, get him for your fantasy team in my opinion. Reason being because obviously they've got Ferdinand there, so he can lend his experience, and Corker is English as well. I know that doesn't really matter, but you know, he'll probably idolise Ferdinand a little bit because obviously Ferdinand is a legendary defender and he's going to learn a hell of a lot there. And yeah, he's already fantastic. I mean, for Cardiff he had 3 informs last season, and yeah, he's just going to be wonderful in my opinion. Next player is going to be Vlaar. What a stunning World Cup he had, and for 4.5 million on this, that's a bargain. You have to pick some lower players that you wouldn't necessarily pick, so you can't pick like Company and all that shit that you think are going to do well. You need a budget, and yeah, Vlaar is perfect. 4.5 million on this. He's going to have a really, really solid BPL in my opinion, considering how well he did for Netherlands in the World Cup. The next player is another new signing, and that is going to be Daryl Janmaat, who I personally believe, along with Remy Cabella, are going to be Newcastle's best signings. And yeah, Janmaat for 5 million on this. Defenders are relatively cheap. I think he's going to be utterly incredible. Really, really solid right back. They lost Bushi, but they got a world-class replacement. And the next player was originally going to be Luke Shaw, but obviously he is now injured, so it hasn't actually put my replacement there. And my replacement is going to be Felipe Luis, who costs the exact same anyway. Luke Shaw's out for a month, so I'm going to lose points regardless on that, so I had to change Luke Shaw out. So I put Felipe Luis there, and yeah, he's going to be a really solid left back. He was really, really good for Atletico Madrid. and I think he's going to take that form to Chelsea. You haven't heard too much in pre-season, which is usually a good thing for a defender. Once they're not highlighted, that's better, because if they're highlighted, it usually means that they've been performing badly. For instance, David Luiz in the World Cup. The next player is another Chelsea player, and that's going to be Cesc Fabregas. Now that this guy's had a stunning pre-season, I've been overwhelmed by how good Fabregas has been. He scored a really nice dribble goal. He scored a lovely free kick. His passing has been marvellous. Honestly, he seems to be very deadly in the heart of Chelsea's midfield. And I know Arsenal's midfield is overcrowded by really good players. That's their strongest section. I really don't understand why Wenger would turn up the chance to buy Fabregas. Even with Sanchez, Ramsey, etc., Fabregas for me is going to be very good this season. Now the next player again was a player I was going to have, and that was going to be Van Ginkel. Now that's unusual to many people, but I think he's going to do very well this season. But because I have 3 Chelsea players already, because I had to replace Luke Shaw, the next player I'm going to be getting instead is going to be, when I can find him without, well, it is ordered by price. What the hell? 1 minute, it'll be the most expensive. Sorry about this. For fuck's sake. Oh, this is defender, that's why. Oops, my bad. Sorry. The next player is going to be Herrera. Now, you could put Cabella there, because I think he's going to do very well for Newcastle, but Herrera reminds me so much of Roy Keane. He's not afraid to go into a challenge. Yes, he's probably going to get me deducted points, because I reckon he's going to get a couple of red cards, but he's also going to get a lot of high match ratings for his passing, his defense. Everything looks stunning, and it was a really hard choice between Herrera and Remy Cabella. They're the same price, so either or for me. And the next player is the only Liverpool player I'm going to put in this, and that is Raheem Sterling. Against us in pre-season, he was incredible, and now without Luis Suarez, obviously they're going to be relying a lot more on Sturridge and Sterling, and for me, Sterling is going to be Liverpool's best player next season. He's rapid, he's got the dribbling, he can pass, he can shoot, kind of. That needs a little bit of work, but you know, he can work on that. He's what, 19, 20? So yeah, I think he's going to be absolutely fantastic. And the next player is another Manchester United player, and that is Juan Mata. Great pre-season, great end of the season. You know, 8 goals in 8 games before pre-season, which was fantastic. I think that was it 7 in 7? Something like that. He had the same amount of goals as games, and also a few assists. This guy is going to be incredible. Honestly, I reckon he's going to be BPL's top assister or close to it. Obviously, he's our marquee signing, most expensive, up to date. Of course, we could get other signings, so I might change this around. But for me, Mata has to go there. 9 million for Juan Mata on this is pretty much a bargain in my eyes. And the next player is Barkley. Now, really good season for Everton last season. Obviously, he's signed a new contract, so again, I think he's going to be an incredible player, and he's going to pick up a lot of points, a lot of assists, maybe a few long-range goals, like that stunning one. Was it against City? I can't remember, but it was that long-range finesse curler. Oh, that was beautiful. Now the next player is going to be Wayne Rooney. Obviously our new captain. I think he's going to take this season by storm. He's been on fire pre-season. You know, apart from the last game, which was against Valencia, where he hit the post from a penalty and he missed an opportunity, he has been incredible. He scored 4 goals in 90 minutes of game time. Yes, though it was pre-season, but you know, he's still banging in the goals. He seems to link up really well with Mata and Welbeck when he was there. Hernandez, we need to get rid of him, and obviously with Van Persie coming back from the World Cup, you know, I think he's going to do very well. And the next player was going to be Pele. Obviously Southampton's new signing, but I'm going to replace that with another Southampton player, if I can find them. Not a Southampton player, what the hell am I on about? I'm going to replace it with a Stoke player, and that's going to be Bojan. Now, Pele I think is going to do really well for Southampton, but I didn't have the funds. As you can see, I've got 7 million left, and the next player costs 6.5. So, I put Bojan there, and I think he's going to do very well. Obviously, he didn't really work at Barca, but at Stoke, I really think he's going to be their best player this season, hence why I put him there. And the next player is a West Ham signing. A lot of signings going into this team. Zarate. Now, I really am surprised they picked this deal up so early on. they seem to really want to be contending for at least mid-table this season. They really do. Maybe at an extreme push, maybe contesting with Europa, but I don't think that's going to happen realistically. But I wouldn't be surprised they could be one of the dark horses, because they do seem to be trying at least to bring in some quality signings. Obviously they were linked with Eto, etc., but his wages are ridiculous. But Zarate, moving on to him, I think he's going to be a wonderful striker for them and bang in a lot of goals and get you a lot of points. So that is my dream team. Now, it might change due to injuries, due to other things, other factors, maybe new signings, stuff like that. But for the time being, that is it. And yeah, I'm just going to leave it as it was. Oh no, shit, I need to actually change it. Make transfers, there we go. Because obviously I had to change a few players in and out. As you can see, Van Ginkel out for Herrera, Shaw out for Felipe Luis, and Pele out for Bojan. So yeah, that is my team. If you do want to sign up, then the link will be in the description, but I'm sure many of you know about this anyway. Thought I'd do a little bit of a different video. Was requested by a couple of people. So yeah, hopefully you do enjoy. Let me know what your fantasy team is, and yeah, peace.